Welcome to Retro Revisited, and it's Christmas, so let's take a look at what's under the tree. I hope it's an NES Mini. It's the right size. Created by a company called Thumbs Up, who make loads of that novelty tat you see lying around unsold in department stores, this plug-and-play system doesn't really have a definite name, which is a good start. I think it's safe to call it the Retro Mini TV Games. That's what it says on the box, but the unit itself just has Retro Games Controller on it, and the video trailer says the same. Then again, the latter shows a guy laughing at a menu screen, so that's probably not to be trusted. As for the unit itself, it is absolutely tiny. Even in my hands it looks like a proper sized controller that's been blasted by a shrink ray. As for how it handles, well, I'll get to that later. But there are 200 games on this little thing, that's a positive, right? These blurry images on the box are surely nothing to worry about either. So let's take a look. That can only be a good sign, right? Don't worry, by the way, I'm not going to keep you here all day and show you all 200. I'm not that sadistic. Although I did play them all. My notes here are proof enough of that. Let's take a look at the first page in full though, to give us an idea of what's in store. Let's start with number 1, F-22. Nice title card, good pink plane as the main character, but it's just another standard shooter. Racing Fighter sees you attempting to control a car that is hurtling down a road. Emphasis on attempting. Vanguard is a solid enough tank shooter, and Animal Blockers is just mahjong. More like marong. Hey, they can't all be winners. Next, Magic Joanie has a plot, and a badly written one at that. Not that you'd know, as these screens flash by in an instant. Maybe the devs knew. Oh, and as for the game itself, it sees you eating endless drug-addled bad guys by setting your giant plant on them. As you do. You can't open this chest, so you're effectively stuck in limbo. Joy. Moving on, Aerial Warfare is an isometric shooter in which it's impossible to get your bearings. Did you know that isometric translates to sometros in Greek, by the way, which more accurately means of equal measure? In my language, it also means type of game that nobody in their right mind wants to play. Crystal Ball is a barely tolerable overhead action puzzler which has you playing as a sphere collecting other spheres. This is the first title that you really realise that this joystick is the work of Satan. Sometimes it simply refuses to work when you tell it to. The next delight is Police Dog Lacey, or Lassie. Does this look like the work of a sane person to you? If your answer is yes, then buy this system now. You headcase. I would say looking at these 8 delights gives you an idea of what the system is like, but that's not really the case. Games change wildly in terms of aesthetics throughout, with ones having the blocky style of the Atari 2600 library, and others the more refined pixels of efforts on the NES. Some just look like they belong in the pits of hell. To scrape together 200 titles, games from other systems have been nabbed, you see, with Police Dog Lassie coming from the Dream Gear, for example. Some are actually from much less obvious sources, such as Blobbuster, which is a hack of the NES's Dig Dug 2 Trouble in Paradise. This system is effectively inbreeding with loads of other pirated systems then, and it's not a pretty sight. Few, if any, of these games are effectively retro either, largely being recently created garbage rather than ports of classics. When I reached out to the team at Thumbs Up about the system and where it might have got all these titles, I got no reply, by the way, so I can only take that as an admission of guilt. In any case, some genres are overused to the point of madness, with a seemingly endless stream of fixed shooters and vertically scrolling races, the latter of which are almost universally impossible. Even the computer struggles to play its own game. There's momentary enjoyment to be had from spotting which game is being ripped off, but even these brazen copies aren't much fun to play due to the system's inherent awfulness. You can get some unintentional laughs here and there, of course, such as in IQ Champion, which despite its name is just yet another fixed shooter. Ultimately, this is a real test of patience. Some of these entries might have worked in brief bursts in a WarioWare title, but that's about as far as I can go in terms of praise. Everything about this system is the thing of nightmares. It's almost as if it's inherently evil. It even mocks me, with some games seeming to offer a 2-player mode, but it's not actually available to select.
It's almost like it knows.
Capturing video was also a real test. The system wigged out on some TVs, and occasionally it decided to corrupt the footage I did manage to grab, almost as if it didn't want its naffness exposed. Well, I'm afraid you failed, retro mini-TV games, both in terms of avoiding harsh judgment and being an acceptable form of entertainment in any way.
So yeah, not a very happy holidays for me, I guess. But wait, there was another present under the tree, wasn't there? Maybe my Christmas can be saved after all. Ho, ho. No!
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video for some reason, please do click that like button. It would give me a real boost. I'm also aware I've not perhaps created enough content this year, but I appreciate all the viewers that have stuck around. That's you. So happy holidays and have a great new year.
Oh, by the way, my name's Wallace. Good to meet you.